Rodniks are humming in the dead of the night. Electric bills climbing, ain't feeling right. Hash rates dropping, profits thin as air. I'm digging for gold, but there's none down there. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't choose. But there's a spark in the AI glow. Rent my computer, let the profits grow. Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't lose. Switch my power to the AI flow, turn this burden into a glow. I see the light, it's flickering on. AI's calling my machines to respond. No more digging in the blockchain dirt. This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mining blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI train's on a steady roll, gonna wreck compute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real, electric bills biting like a thief who steals. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game, whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, no more feudal race, just AI visions lighting up the space. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my days. Now my GPUs hum a different tune,
Training
models under the cyber moon.
No more digging,
No more digging, lighten up the space.
Happy Saturday night, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well, getting settled in. Had a busy day. Well, I've been having busy days, just working on projects and such. Go over some of them tonight. I haven't made as much progress as I had hoped, but VAST.ai automation, install automation is complete with instructions and everything. And I redid my website, but it's not quite complete because I can't get the store to work right, and I'm working on that. Actually, gonna let you know a lot of different things tonight. Finally gonna have a use for this Pi. I'm gonna make that my my file storage for the store. It's not like I'm gonna be selling that much or anything, so it won't be that, but I'm gonna set that up with a bunch of home lab stuff on it so that everything works properly. So looking forward to doing that. Might do that tonight or might do it tomorrow, we'll see. But anyway, hope you guys are all doing good. I see Mr. Peaceful is here. Good to see you, sir. Turtle Tech 22 and Doombots is here. Doom Boots. I hope you do that. Doom Boots. And I do hear that my guest is going to be here shortly. So I'm waiting for him. But quick update on the hip. Bothering me a bit more today, but I figured out, I think, why. So the last 2 nights, I slept really well. I slept on my side, but I think I paid for it today. So, Mr. X625, hello, and Hyper Hashtag, good to see you, sir. So anyway, the 2 nights ago when I slept on my side, I had a pillow between my knees. Last night, I just fell asleep. I was so tired last night, and I forgot to put a pillow between my knees. So I think that's why I'm paying for it today. Did a little bit of research on that, and they're like, yeah, that's kind of going to irritate those hip flexors. Everything I read says, yeah, you can sleep on your side, but you have to have a pillow between your knees. And I forgot to do that last night. So hopefully 1 or 2 days of either sleeping on my back or making sure I've got a pillow between my knees if I sleep on my stomach, will have it going back the right direction. So I feel like it's stronger. Like I'm this close to hopefully walking. Biggest problem is all the stabilizers. The stabilizers in the glutes and the stabilizers in like the inner hip. Those just are not, they haven't woken up yet from the surgery, at least from what I can tell. So anyway, working on all that. But yeah, a little frustrating to be in a little bit more pain today than I have been probably in the last week. But I also worked it pretty hard this week with rehab. Like Monday for rehab, they just had me doing a straight leg raise. Couldn't do it. Could not do it without help. I could not raise it like literally an inch off the table. By Wednesday, I could do 5. And actually, even the next day after that, I was able to do 10. So, oh no, I take that back. It was Friday. It was Friday. I couldn't do it. And then Monday I did 5. Wednesday I did 10. And then Thursday I did 15. But I could only do 5 at a time. So it's still pretty weak, but getting better. So I'm seeing improvement, but it is frustrating. I thought by 3 weeks I'd easily be walking. So it's a little frustrating that that's not like that yet. So it is what it is. Everybody recovers at a different rate. So first time 13. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you guys all being here. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. Kind of did kind of a last minute research, but the website, let me actually, where did I put that? Oh, that wasn't one. You bring up the website so I can go to you. You guys can let me know what you think. When it does that, I do not want you to snap to grid. Stop it. All right, there. Now. All right, let me share my screen real quick. There it is. That's the new website. The last one was just way too difficult to do, so I just did it through Claude, and this is what I came up with, and I liked it. So I obviously made some tweaks, and I worked at it, changed some things, but I do like it. I have a couple more tweaks to do, but there's automated VAST.ai installer. Right now I have it at like a $50 price point. I didn't put a lot of work into it. I was curious what you guys thought would be a fair price for that, considering all of them. I mean, if I could do it on a pay per use, that would be great, but it doesn't work that way. But anyway, so there's that. I'm also working on a battery ROI calculator. The GPU rental income estimator, that was just a placeholder. I might do that. One of the things I am working on actually is again, this is really only for people in the Chicago area, but I'm working on an hourly price estimator for power to basically estimate how much somebody would have saved over the previous year, because I'm able to download all of the pricing variables plus all of the person's so basically all of the hourly pricing data, as well as all of the specific billing differences between everything, because there's some things that get charged for in hourly pricing that aren't charged in the standard rate. It's all in the supply rate, but I have all of that as well, and we'll have instructions on how somebody can get their PCL, which is like the variable that they use to calculate what your there's a factor that everybody uses, then it's times your peak factor, and that's what the P stands for in P, like peak capacity. I forget what the L stands for. But anyway, find that PCL, you times it by that multiplier, and it gives you what your what do you call it? Capacity charge is going to be, and that's like a fixed rate that you pay every month for a year. So all of these things go into it. So I have worked with Claude to develop a first draft. I have not actually uploaded the Google script code yet into Google Sheets. I still need to do that to see if it'll work and see how and then I'm probably going to work with Claude to say, hey, I want user interface. I want more like clear results. What I need the clear results page. I know I have an instruction sheet on it. So anyway, I'm looking forward to working on that. And that'll be another upload. I'll probably post that on, there's a bunch of different digital download sites where you can post products for sale. So I'm going to post it there as well as I'll put it on my own store that I'm developing. But anyway, working on monetizing some things that I think are valuable to a certain market. Obviously, I don't think I have too many people here from the Chicago area, but for those people that are, I think that they will find it very useful. And who knows, maybe I'll get noticed by a power. There's a bunch of companies out there either that are basically showing ways to save money on power, like Community Solar, things like that. Somebody might notice that I'm developing these tools to help people understand how they can save money on power, which if that's their target market is trying to get somebody to understand, maybe they'll take notice and be like, hey, hell, maybe even ComEd, considering their tools don't work. They don't even have a tool that says, hey, if you're going to go to hourly, this is how much you will save. They have a tool for distributed time of use, meaning that the distribution side, not the supply side, and it's completely wrong. I went through everything and actually did the calculation. I actually have a tool for that as well. Should actually get that one improved, and could post that as well. But yeah, it's their tool said I was going to save like $1,000, and when I actually went through it, I was still saving, but I was saving less than $100 when I went through and used my data and the hourly data and matched them up to the time of day. Yeah. So unless my tool was matching up the wrong time of day, but I don't think so, considering time of day doesn't really matter that much to me because I'm using generally about the same amount throughout the entire day, maybe a little bit different. But yeah. Anyway, hello, Blackhead team. Hello, Frogman Mining and Dave Tweaks. No vibe coding. Vibe coding takes jobs. I don't know anybody that's actually doing these things. So everybody says, well, they take jobs. Great. Then develop them. I'm developing tools that don't exist. So would they exist if I didn't develop them? No, it wouldn't. Nobody's doing it. So, and well, here's the thing. It's adapt or die. Right now with vibe coding, it's not about the ability to create something. It's about the ability to come up with ideas to create things. And for me, that's fun because I'm like, I have ideas. Now I just got to do it. And it's interesting because, like I said, if you know how to code and you start vibe coding, you're going to be able to do it a lot quicker. The other thing is you have to know the topic you're working on, because if you don't, you will come up with a product that doesn't solve anything. And that was never, ever more true when I was developing this ComEd hourly pricing tool. Oh my gosh. They were getting so many things wrong. I was calling them out. I'm like, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. None of this is right. They're like, oh yeah, this is the, what was the power energy adjuster, power electricity purchase electricity adjuster, PEA. So it's something that changes every single month. And the hourly PEA, they are completely wrong. And I called them out on it. They're like, oh yeah, you're right. And then they made the adjustment. I'm like, this is even more wrong. Even more wrong. Like, how do you get it so wrong? And I was like, totally calling them out. I'm like, this is where I'm finding the data. Yes, you got to screen scrape it. I finally just gave up and I'm like, that's all right. Never mind. I'll fill it in. So yeah. And I will admit, a lot of this data is extremely hard to find. They're found in like court filings, basically. They have to file with the Illinois Commerce Commission, like it's a court, like it's an illegal filing. And that's where you find the data, which is ridiculous that that's where you have to go to find the data, unless some other source is actually doing the data. So anyway, I see you. All right, let me switch over to hobbyists and continue the conversation. All right, you guys can still hear me, right? Hobbies, you there?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
You can hear me. I know you can.
Nope. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not here.
All right. Enable is here. The maker of GPU Autopilot. That product is really, really good. You guys are on VAST or any of the other platforms, Octaspace. Who else? Why am I drawing a blank?
I'm gonna leave you hanging here. RunPod, you know.
Oh, okay.
Ones. Yeah.
Well, RunPod, yeah, it's kind of hard to get into RunPod, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I attribute some of my price, my revenue increases to it because now most of my 5090s have been priced higher. Not a ton higher, really anywhere between 2 to 3 cents higher at times, and they make more money that way.
So before we jump into that,
sure.
Hi Max, how are you? How's it going?
Sorry, I was already in my mode, man. Sorry.
He's like, oh yeah, obviously there. Okay, now let's so yeah. How goes it?
It goes okay. I was filling everybody else in on the hip. I slept on my side the last 2 nights, and last night specifically, I forgot to put a pillow between my legs, and I'm feeling that today. Definitely feeling that today.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to sleep on my back the next couple nights.
Has work come knocking yet as to like when you're coming back, or like is it literally to be determined? Like is it literally wide open?
Well, right now the date is 3 months, not from today, but 3 months from the surgery. So the date was, I think it was June 22nd.
Okay.
I think was
Who's
the date.
counting? Who's counting?
Oh, I'm definitely counting. Yeah, June 22nd. Was
Okay.
the so if it goes longer than that,
Yeah.
I will have to go knocking to them to say, hey, here's a new doctor's note, whatever. And
Got
if
you.
they think that 3 months is too long, they'll come knocking and say, hey, we need an
Got you.
update from your doctor.
Got it. Got it. So you still got,
so-
so you still got quite a few days of vacation. I got it. 100%.
Vacation.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
I like
definitely will not say it's vacation. That it was so funny. I'm like last Friday when I went to rehab for the first time. I mean, I had in-home rehab, but that was like
Yeah,
just kind of
not the
basic
same,
moving
yeah.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this guy's abusing the hell out of me. He's having me do things that I can't do. And,
Good. Good.
But yeah, good, right. But thankfully, had me doing the same
Okay.
things, the rest of this week, and each
Okay.
time, each one of those things got better and
Yeah.
better. So,
So my question there is, and I know I jumped in and I saw you showing off your site when I got on here, but I was going to say, how are you taking advantage of your time so that you're almost getting 10 steps ahead?
well, like I said, I redid the website, and that's a little bit of a work in progress. I'm also developing that hourly pricing thing I was just mentioning.
Mhm.
But I want to develop a number of things, because I've been definitely watching videos about how people are monetizing AI. And one of the very easy things that people do is creating Excel spreadsheets, Google Sheets, whatever, and selling them as digital products. And I was like,
templates?
yes,
template
exactly.
built out. Got you. Okay.
Yeah. And so at the time, I was trying to develop the battery, whether or not does it make sense to get batteries for your home. And what I mean by that is, how long does it take? And I mean that, how long does it take for them to pay themselves back? How long does it take to break even? Because they are a moneymaker. If you have like time of use or something, or hourly like I have, because you can arbitrage the price or time shift. So Crypto Shaped always used to call it, and I've seen other people call it that too. You time shift your usage. And then the other part is a virtual power plant that pays a considerable amount per kilowatt that you have.
Now, are you doing where you're charging batteries during certain time periods because it's significantly cheaper, and then you're utilizing that during other time periods to? Okay, got you. Okay, yep.
So that's the arbitrage part of it. But what's really interesting, and I had not seen this until yesterday. So when I started doing the analysis on the batteries, I looked at it and I found out that Tesla has a lease program. I was like, that's cool. And their virtual power plant program pays pretty darn well. Pays, I think, twice to 3 times as much as the proposed payouts for ComEd.
Okay.
And so I started looking at that. I'm like, okay, so I actually have an appointment with Tesla, like a remote meeting, looking at that as a possible solution.
Nice. Okay.
But either way, I still want to be able to plug it into the spreadsheet and have that as an example.
Okay.
But what I found out yesterday was Signature Solar did an interview of, oh my God, what the hell is the name? It's the type of batteries that Chump has. Oh, why am I drawing a blank? Give me a second.
All right, I won't hold you to it. That's okay.
But anyway, they're doing something extremely interesting in the fact that they are, how do I put it? So when at the beginning of this year, the 30% tax credit for consumers went away. But for companies, it didn't. So if somebody decides to lease to you, they can still get the 30%.
Oh, got you.
So what this company is doing is they not only are going to help you benefit from the 30%, when they get the rebate, they're going to deposit it in your account.
Okay, interesting.
So you're paying lease, but basically that first year, you'll probably make money the first year just because of getting that huge check back. So I thought that was really, really interesting. I think
so you're trying to So you're working on the, it sounds like you're very much going down the rabbit hole of working on tools or spreadsheets or things like that. So going back to my question, that's really where your mind has been at on like, how do I come up with, take advantage of the time? Because I get it. Like when you're at the office and then you're coming home, it's hard to get into that mindset versus now you're in kind of creator mindset, whether it's tools or whatever it is. So that's great. I mean, I'm happy to hear that. Definitely take advantage of it. You had shot me over that website. It looks really good. I saw somebody in chat giving me a hard time on vibe coding, which made me laugh. And you made a really good point in there when I was listening right before I jumped in on like, going ahead and adapting and things like that. And it really makes me think, like, I have a number of friends that are developers, and it makes me wonder, like, are we still in the early stages where they're able to get done what they need to in an hour of work now? Like, and they're still producing the same amount of work utilizing AI tools, or have their development shop stepped it up to be like, okay, we support these tools. Of course, you have to have a human review your code, like, get that.
Right.
But like, now are they expecting 10x now versus what you were doing previously? Like, it's a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different camps out there. There's some that are resistant to change.
Yep.
Because you got to remember, you still got old guys running these companies. And
100%.
And the old guys are not like even understanding what's possible. They just don't get it at all. Just the very, very basics. Like, how do you not take an IT department and start automating some of the things so that your people can be more effective? And so I won't talk about my company, but
that's right. That's a smart man. He's learned from the past. No, I do think it's absolutely smart. I mean, it's one of those where, like, we as individuals are getting upset when we see these companies are cutting jobs, but they're cutting jobs because they're utilizing AI to do those jobs now. Great example to share was I was just over at where I have the shed property, and Mr. Electrician, that's his house. He pays for the internet there and everything. And he had hit me up the other day about the fact of like, him and I were looking at putting AI rigs there. I think I had shared this previously.
Yeah.
And anyways, long story short, he bought a new modem in order to support the speeds he was paying for, right? And we got him an Ubiquiti. It's like one of the all-in-one units. It looks like a little egg, and it does wireless and like everything. And so set those up great. And he owns his modem, so I ended up having to call. He didn't have the Xfinity app or anything. And I was like, I'm just going to call Comcast. And I had a guy on the phone who had a slight, very, very slight Indian accent, barely any. But I could tell I was talking to AI the entire time I was on the phone. The entire time, it was an AI agent helping me, because how I could determine it was I was like, when if they'd start to talk and I cut in to interrupt real quick, it would like repeat real quick. All of a sudden, you could tell like it didn't quite get like those human prompts, and it would have me repeat things many times. And I'm like, okay, but it wasn't as obvious as what I expected, and it took 10 times longer to do what I needed to do, but it got the job done. And it had some pleasantries in there too. And it was like, if you could have that in place versus all the like listen, I love the human factor, great, because I'm always like straight to agent type of deal. But like from a company perspective, if you can replace that with something that will get the, like, it got, as I said there, it got the job done, right?
Well, here's the other part. And this was really, really interesting, because I'll tell you about the situation in a second. But the key thing is the human going to be able to recall as well as an AI? If you are clear and you can express what your problem is, then it's gonna be, so I'll give you an example. Bluehost is the host company for my website. Well, I don't know if it's, I'm guessing it's my router, but somewhere, some way, I don't know if it's my computer or whatever, I have everything's being cached. So I was trying to make changes to my website and it wasn't showing up, and it was really frustrating. And then I went to my phone and I'm like, well, it's on my phone. Why isn't it there?
Caching issue.
So I finally was working with AI, and it's like, yeah, you need to call your host company. So I called my host company, and it was totally AI. Definitely AI. And I explained exactly what was going on. and they walked me through how to flush my DNS, and I did it, and
Oh.
it worked.
Oh, simple
It's
enough.
like-
well, it's really, I mean, Retro
Claude
Mike
couldn't do
makes a
it.
good.
Claude
Yeah.
couldn't do it. It couldn't tell me to do that, and then I went back. Oh yeah, their AI told me to do that. Like, oh great. See, they can't be insulted.
Yeah, Retro Mike's makes a really good point. Like, I think it's in those early stages now where like some developers are leaning on it so much where like they don't even understand it, and they're just putting in a prompt, it's providing it, and then they're not fully understanding what they're doing. And he's saying he's spending a lot of time going in, like correcting mistakes and stuff like that. And I get it. I think it.
But here's
does
the
make
thing:
sense.
okay, so I don't know code syntax, but I know enough where I can see when things are wrong. Because again, you can understand, it's like learning any language. You can understand something, but I may not know where to put a comma or where to put a semicolon and all that kind of stuff. So yes, that could be a problem if you have something like that where you have to debug it. I get that. But the basics of how it is going to operate, and as far as code review, it's getting really, really good. I was watching a video today. Basically, people were saying, if you want to write something or do like office tasks, something like that, Claude's great. If you want to code, you need to use Codex. Now I haven't been using Codex, but I may switch, because man, Claude has been making a lot of mistakes. Like stuff hasn't been working, and it's like, oh well, there's this, and so, oh, I know, I caught this. Like, well, if you caught it, why didn't you just do it right the first time? You're the AI. I mean, I didn't say any of that because it's a waste of tokens, but but yeah, it can be a bit frustrating at times when you're like, how did they get that wrong? But it's still, I'm able to do things and create things that I couldn't create before. And again, if anybody is going to take notice and say, hey, that's really cool that you did that, and then I'll be very upfront. Yeah, I don't know how to code, but they'll understand I got the ideas, and that's a different position than a coder, but you can bring things to life. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to be learning more, because I'm not just blindly like for instance.
I lost you. Wonder if my earbud. Try me. You're good. I think it's on my side. My earbud. I think my earbud. Oh, I just something. It's you. We lost Max. Okay. I thought I was like, wait, what? I thought it was me. I'm like, oh, it was me. My one earbud died earlier, so he's checking.
I don't know why I did that, but
there you go.
Hopefully.
Back. Hey, put it into Claude. See what it tells you.
Okay. Right? No. It's got low battery power, but it's got 5% and it's charging, and it went from 1 to 5%. So and it wasn't at 0. It was at 0 at the start of the stream. I was like, how did that happen?
Hey, Swamp7 says maybe get AI to fix your audio issues, Max. All right.
I know what happened. Hold on. Are you guys able to hear me? Oh, you're not. Somehow I got put back on mute after I fixed it. Anyway, long story short, it had turned off on me. It was low battery, and when I started typing, I moved the charging cable off to the side, so it shut off because of its low battery.
Oh man. They say there's an echo. There's an echo.
Oh. That's right. There would be, but oh, wait a minute. Interesting. Hold on. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Oh, you can. Oh, then they can still hear me. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I turned it back on, and OBS was the problem, and I needed to be through. Okay. So, anyway,
glad to hear things are going well.
What were you saying? Sorry, you got distracted.
No, it's good. So I wanted to comment a little bit on getting back to VAST a little bit here. My situation I had, which is absolutely frustrating, was so I had a rig that I had shared with you that went offline, and I didn't notice it. It was like a Friday. I didn't notice it. I'd gotten an email from it, and business as usual. So then Sunday, I was checking my rigs, and I'm like, oh, I'm missing one. I'm missing one of these. And so I started to look into it and I was like, oh yeah, I'm missing that one. And went ahead, and this wasn't right now, this was previously, but went ahead and something got corrupted with it with an update. I was talking to Swamp 7 about it a little bit, like auto updates. Something got corrupted with I want to say Linux overall, because the whole system was running very sluggish. And like I had done some reboots on it, and like you'd type things and hit enter and it would wait to like give you a response back. It was very odd to me. And like you would think like hardware issues, right? Like something was overheating or something was full, and I just couldn't find anything. So this was the first time I ran into this. I did find there were a few commands I could run to like see like, is the VAST service running? And that was no. Does it even exist? It was no. But it was like, I looked into avenues to find like there were some, VAST existed in one capacity and there was some file structure there, but it was an absolute mess. So I ended up using the command I have to kind of like completely like gut Docker and like reinstall it entirely. And that did not fix the issue. So I thought it was maybe something more with actually the operating system. So I made the mistake. I know better now. Max has enlightened me afterwards, but I made the mistake of reinstalling the OS and everything. And so that 3090 went from verified in a job to unverified in no job since that time period. And so I had reached out to VAST in their chat on the dashboard and chatted with them and was like, hey, here's what was going on. I don't know how it occurred. Here's ID 1 offline, the old one, here's ID 2. Can you guys pass over the verification? And they were like, oh, that's not something we could do, but that's a really good idea. Like, and I'm like, yeah, why doesn't it exist? I can't be the only person. Like, why do you have nothing that's like, here's the old ID, here's the new one, and you guys have some checks like hardware, right? Go through the hardware check. Does all the hardware match? There's got to be, and I'm not as technical, but there's got to be some type of hardware ID somewhere along the way that they can do it. And I was like, guys, this is not rocket science. But what I also find with VAST is that, like, when I first, something else about VAST, I'll come back to it, that was frustrating, but like chatting with them, I can tell VAST is a bunch of developers and that's it. Like VAST is just a bunch of developers and engineers, and they don't have that user side as well developed as what I would expect. Because I had another issue then a few days later where I had 2 rigs that were showing like 100 up, 100 down, like the bandwidth checks. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is happening here? So I went through like troubleshooting it, and then I found some commands people had provided where like you can run that, I guess, speed test from the machine. And it was telling me 900 by 900. I was like, why is it showing in the dashboard? So I asked the VAST chat a question, and they were like, that's, what would they say? Feel free to visit our Discord and ask some others for some of those answers. And I want to be like, what? I'm like,
I hate that answer more than anything.
And I responded back and I was like, can I please speak with somebody more technical? Because I was like, I'm not looking for, Cindy on the spot here who's just kind of passing the buck to your Discord. I was like, no. Like, I'm providing a service. I would like some more details here. And it got nowhere. It was worthless type of deal. So definitely some frustrations more recently. But unfortunately, that one rig is still now unverified. And that rig is 99. What is it? 99 point. It has gone up so quickly. 99.17%. It went up so quickly. And I got another guy, and I feel like it was the guy that you had talked to. I forget his name, but he was like, oh yeah, we're going to make a note. We'll keep an eye on that rig, and we'll try to get that as verified as fast as possible. I was like, great, thanks. But last time it took 4 months. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. If he did say that, and I think that sounds exactly like the one guy. Unfortunately, he didn't offer to rent you like he did me. So because that helped get but I think with yours, he probably saw that your reliability was going up quick. In my case, I think the more rigs you have and the longer you've been on the platform. No. My point is that when you introduce a brand new rig, it takes forever. Forever.
Really? Okay.
That one I did, this was like I deployed this thing before I had the hip surgery. And let's see, what is it
Because
at?
mine went up 30%.
I don't even think it's hit 99% yet.
Mine went up 30% in a night, Max. When I first got online, it was 60, and the next morning I checked, it was 90. That's why I'm at 99% already. I mean, that's why I don't know if that's a bandwidth factor. Like, you know, that's something that you and myself and Second TL have talked about too, is like, is bandwidth weighing that much? Because yeah, this rig has just sat here. And like, I've dropped the price down to pretty much nothing in order to hope that like I get a rental in there, because last time with my 3090s, the second I got my first rental, it came back and was verified very quickly after that. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure, but
Like this one is currently rented as unverified, and it's now
Oh, wow.
only at 99%, and it's been over 3 weeks. It's been 4 weeks.
okay. Yeah, I don't
So-
remember. Maybe this was 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think.
I don't know
can't
why
remember when I
mine go up
mentioned
so
it to you.
slow, but they definitely go up
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And my speeds have now slowly gone back up a little bit at a time on those two rigs. The one is still down. But yeah, so but no, VAST has been great, absolutely great. I mean, I just wish I wish there was a better avenue for me to accumulate more 5090s. I mean, you know, real world problems here, but it's just I just can't pull myself to be buying any third party 5090s at this point. Just the cost is way too much. It just, the math doesn't math. And so I keep saying I'm going to wait for, you know, kind of the Nvidia Founders Editions ones, but I don't feel like they've done a batch again. I haven't heard anybody who's picked up another 5090 from that program whatsoever.
Yeah, there are other cards available. I mean, obviously, yes, the 3090s are like $3,600 or higher now. But they are available.
Not
out there.
3090s. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 5090s are 3,600 or more. But I was looking at some of the other cards, like the RTX Pro cards. So the RTX Pro 4000, I think Newegg I think had them for like 1,700 something. The RTX Pro 4500 was like 2,400, I think, or maybe it was 2,700, somewhere in that range, and that's a 32 gig card. So that was kind of an interesting one. Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, what's the RTX Pro 5000 at? And the RTX Pro 5000 is like 4,500, but that has 48 gig of VRAM.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Rizzo says here they just had Founders 5090s and 5080s like 2 or 3 days ago. Really? Because you got to get the email, right? Like, I thought you had to get the email. And actually, it was so funny. So after I'd shared with Enable, he actually set up a whole workflow of like scraping his email, like when one of those comes in, to make sure he gets on it like right away, and putting in like all these alerts and stuff like that. Because I thought you had to get an email, which then allowed you to then go in, log into your account, and purchase one. But yeah, I haven't heard that went out to anybody. It was on the Nvidia site. Really? Wow. Okay, because I thought that's what that whole program was. That's why I'm very, very shocked to hear. Oh, I lost you again. I lost you again, Mac. Is it dying again?
I don't know why it's turning off, but I'm
there
back.
You go. You're back.
Yeah, I don't know why
you're back. Yep.
Anyway, I have to make sure that this thing is charged before I get on the stream.
Yes,
But anyway, if I have to keep doing that, that's fine. We'll get through it. But I definitely have some exciting things that happened this weekend. So, I obviously, you guys know I went to CES, and one of the relationships I made there was with InWin, and so they sent me one of their home office like server cases, like cubes.
Oh.
So the bottom is basically a NAS. It's got like 4 3.5 inch drive bays, and then 2.5 inch drive bays. So that's on the bottom. And then on the top is where it's a micro ATX. And so you can put 1, maybe 2 GPUs, depending on the motherboard. And obviously the cards as well. So I was like, I was debating on whether to take that guy back there, that's micro ATX, and put that one in the case. And that was what my initial intention was. And I'm like, no, that thing's been rented forever. I do not want to take that down. It's making a steady 15 cents.
Set it, forget it.
Yeah, exactly. It has been on for so long.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm not gonna take that one down.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm kind of in build mode. Now I got to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to build it into like an Epic system so that I can actually make it like a full server? Do I want 2 GPUs on it? Try to put 2 GPUs on it. So maybe get two of the Pro series of some sort. Not sure what. It's only a 1300 watt power supply on it. It's a platinum power supply, but I'm not going to get 2 Pro 6000s because those are each 600 watts. But I mean, I could do I could do 1 Pro 6000, or I could do 2 Pro 5000s possibly. So I don't know. Yeah. I've been looking to see what's available in micro ATX for Epic motherboards. There are some there for Sienna processors. It's a different series. It's I think a Genoa kind of level of but again, I don't think it has quite as many PCIe slots, but it has enough obviously for 2. I think it's 96 PCIe lanes. Anyway, but I'm really excited about it. I opened it up as soon as it got here on Friday. I opened it up. I'm like looking at everything. I'm like,
nice.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get that thing going. It's
hard part's going to be price of hardware, like pricing it out, like I was thinking about that from my perspective, because like, even though right now I have 7 3090 single card rigs, and they've been, one of them isn't rented because that whole debacle. So I got 6, but the 6 of those, ever since they got verified, which I don't know how long ago that was. What do you think? 2 months ago, maybe? I don't know.
I think maybe a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, they've been rented ever since, consistent. Not once have they and so part of me from a density perspective wants to slap those all into one rig, right? And just do a full rig of them. But then you got to start over, which, okay, fine. But that's not even the biggest, because the demand's there.
You don't have to start over, because you could take one of your machine IDs and then move that to the other machine, then it'll already be verified. But you can't ever do the opposite. Once you've gone to multiple GPUs, you can't ever lower the number of GPUs.
Well, my biggest concern then is from the hardware perspective of like, now is the worst time to be like, I need to buy this motherboard to support all these, or like the memory and like all of it. Just the cost is up there, absolutely. So it's like, man, I don't know that I want to spend that pretty penny. So until either the cost per hour on these rigs goes up, where there's more profitability there, or until the cost of hardware goes down, it just doesn't make sense right now. Just leave them and let them run.
I know. I'm going to grow slowly. I wasn't even thinking I was going to grow, but once I got that case, and I'm like, I'm kind of out of space. I mean, there's certain things I could take down, like, what am I even talking about? Why didn't I just think of? So I have one. I have one. I have one like small HB server that I could actually turn that into a Proxbox server, but this little guy's gonna be getting up. I'm gonna put reverse proxy on this, and anyway, this is gonna be my little server for my file server for feeding uploads to people. So when people buy stuff, this is what you're gonna be getting it from.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the end goal. I was trying to get it working with Google Drive, and it just wouldn't work the way I wanted it to. Because I don't want somebody to be able to purchase it and then be able to share that link with everybody willy-nilly. Not that anybody would, but it's just good practice to not allow just somebody to do that. So I mean,
there are some of those websites. There are some of those websites that kind of have everything pre-packaged, but and ready to go. But of course, there's a fee with it, which I get. So trying to figure out. So
I was like, how can I do it differently? So then they're like, well, use Backblaze, because it's going to be like a couple of cents a month for a 2 gig file. I'm like, all right, cool. So then everything with Backblaze was not working at all the way it was supposed to be working. And I'm like, screw this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Can I self-host this stuff? And he's like, of course you can. Here's what you would need to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? Hey, I got a Raspberry Pi. Can I use that? Like, that'd be perfect. So anyway, I will, I'm not even going to put Proxmox on it. I'm just going to, it's probably, you know, I didn't even look at all the instructions yet, but I wonder if they're just going to say install Docker and then just load all these up as containers.
Oh, throw it. Yeah.
Anyway, I got to go back and look through that, but that's going to be a project. I'll probably start that tonight and then finish it tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome. I was going to share with you. I'm finally making money from this whole endeavor. So my my 6 rigs, 7th rig's not doing anything, and the 5090s are doing about 250 right now per week is what mine are doing. As Enable was yelling at me to increase my prices of my 5090 rig. He's like, dude, you have like really good gear and you have like amazing bandwidth. So I increased that. So we'll see some higher numbers. Unfortunately, one of those rigs is down. So like is unverified and isn't rented. So working that back up. But it's nice to be like, cool. So we're doing about $1,000 a month, which is awesome. And my electric bill last month was $650. So it's like, okay, like we're in the green there. Now, granted, I'm running a whole bunch of other things though. So like it's significant, you know, we got lots of other things running here in the hobbyist miner household, lots of crypto miners and things like that. So it is really nice. And like VAST has been added into as a source of income for my income streams listed that I'm accounting for each time. So that's been really cool. Like, it's been really cool to be like into dabble into that. But like me, I'm one of those people where like, it's like, okay, I've got it in taste. And it's like, okay, now I want to double and triple what I'm doing. And it's like, oh wait, it is not even, it's just like, yeah, okay, fine. You could do that, but how much are you going to spend? It's like, oh, I don't want to do that either.
So it's content, hobbyist. It's content.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting you say that because like, I'm glad you brought that up. I did on my channel, I did a poll, and our channels are very different. You know, yours has absolutely grown in a direction very different from mine. And so like doing these live streams is an absolute, like, it's fun because it's different, right? I'm not talking about home mining. I'm not talking about full-size mining. I'm not talking about shed builds. I'm not talking as much about power. Like it's definitely a different conversation to be had. But I did a poll on my channel, 558 votes, and it was, I always like to gauge community mindset and interest. In April of 2026, where is your interest, direction, focus right now? And 49% of voters voted for the fact of home solo mining, which absolutely aligns. Like, I have one video a week on a new home solo miner that came out. So like that aligns with my channel. 25% was full-size ASICs, which that has always been a hard one because full-size ASICs have always been so far out of reach because their cost, right? Like now the costs have come down, which has been awesome. But spending a few $1,000s is still traditionally out of reach for your everyday home miner. And then 17% was actually cell phone and mobile mining. Retro Mike's ears probably just went up like, wait, what? Which is great because like I want to be getting back into that, and only 9% was on the AI compute rig build side of things. And so it was very interesting, like, of that, where like, even though you say content, it's like looking at it from a business perspective. I'm still going to continue to do the AI content, but it's trickled in there. Like, you kind of have to mix it in versus like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this multiple videos a week for, it's like, you're going to kill that viewership. So I really do enjoy it, but I can't do any more right now. Like, all the rigs are built. There's no more rigs to build right now. I kind of have to wait and see till I get more hardware. I am going to do a recap video on the 5090 rig, everything I've learned and how that's doing, because I think it's important to do kind of a recap, you know, weeks or months later, to be like, how is that doing? You know, that was a very expensive rig, at least in my eyes, and coming out of my piggy bank. So yeah, eventually I'll do that. But yeah, content, but yeah, I guess not as much as your channel, but absolutely content for sure.
I can definitely tell you that, yes, VAST has been over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, I have not had a single week that was under $1,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine. I mean, I guess it's, yeah, I can imagine, because if you just go off of cards, I mean, I have 7, 8, 9, I have 10 right now. And I think you have what, 40 something?
35.
Okay. Yeah. And if I'm doing 250, now granted, every card's different. I get it. And you have a lot of higher end cards too than I do. But yeah, I mean, if I got that and I'm doing 250, I can see exactly where that's coming out for you, which is awesome.
Yeah, I could not be happier. Obviously, the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
couldn't.
Oh, I love it. I love
But
it.
yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. That's one of the reasons I'm like, hey, there's still growing demand. Yes, the costs suck, but that's one of the reasons I'm like, okay, I'm just
Mm.
gonna, build it and they will come type of thing. Build the tools, um, that I think will be valuable to people, and obviously even
Mhm.
some tools that will be valuable to people that aren't even in this into GPU rentals. But
Yeah. Mhm.
anyway, either way, I'm definitely still having fun with it. Yeah, going back to what you said about vast support.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the advantages to getting I don't want to say notoriety or anything like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at least that you've posted there, because
Okay.
then when you get on with somebody who's been at Vast for a little while, they're like, "Oh, you're that guy. Oh, okay." And they might troll you a little bit, whatever, because of certain
Yeah.
things that they saw, but which is fine. But the bottom line is that then they're like, "Oh, okay, this is a guy that has supported us
Mm.
for X number of
That's
years.
great.
He also can say good things and bad things. I'm sure that might have had something to do with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I obviously never threw that at them or anything like that. I just wanted help, and they've always been really helpful, even when they didn't know exactly who I was. And then
Yeah.
once we were kind of done, I'm like, oh, just so you know, this is what I do. And they're like, oh, you're that guy. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So anyway, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I haven't had any trolls on here from the Vast Discord. They used to come on here and just troll the hell out of me. Oh my god, what are you doing? Selling 5090s for like 5 cents? No, I'm
That's
not
right.
doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so interesting. So like, there is a higher capex to spend to get started here versus like solo miners, right? Or
Yeah.
things like that. Like the barrier to entry is definitely more expensive. But what I'm liking so far, as I'm still a newbie to this, is like the payouts are consistent. Like, pretty much
I've been so
once you
far,
have
yeah.
once you have the hardware, once you're rented, once you're verified, once you're rented, like, that the 250 number is pretty consistent within a few dollars each week, which is great. And that's kind of nice. It's a nice, as I tell people, like why I'm continuing to keep my eye on it is it's good to diversify, right? Like,
Mhm.
love crypto mining, love the hardware, love that world, but it's good to diversify. And if this is more consistent, that's really nice when you have a more volatile crypto scene, especially right now. It's like, oh man, there's nice to have a little stability on that back end. Oh, I lost you. You got muted. You took a deep breath. It's all right. We'll power through this together.
It's back on now.
There he is. You're back
Um,
on. You're good to go.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh, yeah, because I am using it doesn't charge as fast as that's
As
what
it's
happens. It
being
gets down to a
used.
certain level and
Yeah.
then I turn it back on. Anyway, we'll get through
That's
it.
all right. We'll power through. We'll
Yeah,
power
we'll
through.
power
It's not
through
the
it.
end of the world.
So that's one of the things is I am like learning a lot more about all the AI tools, and
Okay.
I want to do content around that as well, and
Oh, be
it's
good.
going to be focused on GPU rentals, but the tools that I'm using, and then talk about what tools I used and the frustrations I had, and what maybe I'll do different next time, and that type of thing.
Okay.
But yeah,
I've seen a lot of people creating products around using AI tools. That's
Mhm.
something where I'm seeing a lot of big spike right now, where it's like, I have a 10-step course entirely free. Go over and check it out, or it's X amount. That kind of walks people through how to use these tools at a higher level, like kind of taking advantage of it. And like for you, you're using multiple different tools in multiple different ways. But yeah, I do think there's definitely some value as to what you said of doing some of that on your channel. It's all in that AI realm, right? You're
Right.
doing both sides. You're doing both sides of the coin, the hardware side and the provider side, and then the actual end user side.
The other interesting thing is I was just looking at vidIQ before the stream, because I was like, oh, I forgot, I gotta do some changes there. They always like say, hey, change this to basically update your
Okay.
last videos and stuff, and it's like automated where, hey, this is the change we like to make, just authorize
Oh,
it.
okay.
You authorize it anyway.
Yeah. Nice.
Sometimes just tags, which doesn't really change much,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's more. Anyway, but it also tells you what other videos are referring videos to you.
Yes, correct. Yeah. the
And
other
I
way
was
around, yeah.
like, these guys are, I'm getting people watching my videos from these guys.
Well, it could be the very end of the video, and if they select like in the end screen,
Right.
or if YouTube just pushes them onto another like-minded video,
Yeah.
that's where that's coming from too. They could not even know who you are, and
Oh,
it's
I'm
just
sure
YouTube
they don't,
doing
but I
YouTube
was
things.
like,
Yeah.
to be in the same like
Oh,
kind
okay.
of conversation type of thing, I was kind of like, wow, this is
Great.
pretty cool. God, I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. Hold on. Do I still have it? I don't have it open anymore. No, I do still have it open. There it is. Let me go back to home. It was, one of them. Okay, so one of them is Digital Spaceport, who I've referred to before. He's
Oh,
really
I've heard
good.
that one. Yeah.
This one I have no idea, but I bet that one's probably small. Yeah, that's definitely a smaller creator because it only has 617 views. And then Wendell. You know who Wendell is?
I don't know who that is now.
Wendell, I think, is from Crosstalk or
Okay.
Serve the Home. I don't
Okay.
remember which. Anyway, everybody kind of just knows him as Wendell. Like
Okay.
Linus, when he talks about like different things and he doesn't refer to the YouTube channel. He refers to Wendell. That's how well known.
Oh,
he is.
wow. Okay. Okay.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
so that one was a Linux Weekly 3 updates. And that
okay.
was one that had referred to two views to me. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool to see like, hey, these other people's videos, and I have heard actually YouTube is doing more to refer smaller creators, actually pushing their content a bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Now is a
Well,
great time. Now is a great time for new creators to create channels. YouTube is very much favoring that. Like it used to be so difficult, but
Right.
now like that's the thing. Like people think subscribers matter. Absolutely not. Like it does not matter. YouTube's algorithm is quite unique where it serves up your content to like 100 people at first, and then based off of how that goes, it continues to push it forward. So you could be a brand new creator and you could have videos go through the roof and have 10 subs. You know what I mean? Like they've definitely changed things up, which I think is good. I absolutely love that for sure. But other thing I was going to mention, I saw Enable in chat. If you guys are familiar, Enable is with GPU Autopilot. You were mentioning them early on. I ran into this the other day. On Thursday, I was working over at the shed property, getting a bunch of stuff done, and all of a sudden I had 4 rigs go down on VAST. And at first I was like, wait, like did a breaker pop? And I'm like, these are all on like different, like 30 amp to 40 volts and everything. The internet's still up. And they were rigs. I decided to start putting my rigs on smart plugs. Swapping out, I'm putting these PDUs on smart plugs. And here's why. Because I'm not always here. And these problems are on VAST side. These are not like the machine's up and running. You're muted, I think, again. But I'll continue to share. You know, this is a VAST problem, and like Second TL has talked about this. Like sometimes whatever these people are doing on these rigs and stuff. But the challenge is like it counts against me as a host.
Mhm.
And so what really bothers me is I've started to look. I have Govee smart plugs, and so I started to test these out. I really looked into how many like watts they can handle consistently. Like that was important to me. Of like, can these handle 15 amp, 120 at an 80%? And these are just individual like 30, 90 rigs, and they can. Like, there's plenty of headroom there, which is good. I'm not doing this on my 50, 90 rigs with these larger power supplies. It's just my 30, 90 rigs. But I had put some of these on this a while back, and it was a massive saving grace. When like I got an email and I spotted it, I literally would load up Govee, the app, find that rig, which is the plug, and I named it, and literally just turn it off, turn it back on 30 seconds later, and back in VAST, it's updated, and off we go. So I was like, I put it on all my 3090 rigs. Like, now granted, what is the better solution is a smart PDU, but
Right.
most smart PDUs don't have great apps. Like, that's the challenge, is you need, I can't be on my phone and be like, okay, let me load up my VPN, let me log into my smart PDU. It's like, come on. So anyways, I don't know how safe it is. I'm continuing to test it out to see how it goes. So far, so good. It's been good. But what I had mentioned to actually Enable was, brother, here's what I would love to see. Okay. So GPU autopilot, can go ahead and those of you guys that don't use it, I use GPU autopilot for it's a single pane of glass for pretty much rate shopping your rigs and making sure that you are at the highest point possible and lowering those prices if you need to, increasing them, keeping you competitive at the end of the day. So long story short, I mentioned to him, I was like, listen, in a utopian world, how badass would this be? Where you're able, are you able to poll if a rig is online or offline? It's like, yeah, well, he can see that. It's like, great. We need better notifications as like host operators when these things go offline. If it's a Telegram message, if it's Discord, if in a utopian world, if it's a text message, whatever. But when that flag goes off to say rig 123 is down, is it able to then go ahead and can we do an API call over to Govee? Like, can you put your account information in for Govee and go, does that smart plug have power? And if it does, turn it off. Then 30 seconds later, turn it back on. Then go back to VAST, validate that it's back online, and then send a follow-up. So then you're just updated along the way, right? To be like, all these things occurring. Like, that would be awesome. And then resell this as a package of like, hey, you have to have this smart plug, and I get it. Like, guys, trust me, I come from the crypto mining world. I get it on like putting things on smart plugs or things like that. But there's definitely some things to look at. But most smart PDUs suck. Like, they're not very good. So anyways, it was something that I'm doing right now. And I mentioned it to him of like, that'd be a really cool avenue to go if that was available out there.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, that's the other thing. I was just thinking about this. One of the ones where I'm having trouble with it, sometimes it turns off like once every, or goes bad for some reason or another where I have to reboot it about once every 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
That's my H12 SSL. I don't know what's going on with it. I haven't had time to, I haven't made time, I should say, to try to figure out what might be happening. Because usually by the time I go to reboot it and by the time I have to go back to it, the logs would probably be gone at that point because it's been so long. But what I really need to start doing is actually going in through the IPMI and just rebooting it that way instead of making somebody go downstairs to do it. But if I could automate it,
if you see in chat, if you're following along in chat,
I saw Swamp 7.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. So here's what I would love to see. I would love to see, are you ready, Swamp 7 or Enable? Sell a little box, your VAST monitor box that you build all of this out. And all it does is you get it, some type of web GUI, you log in, it's an API to VAST. But when VAST goes ahead and sees that rig is down, you're able to be able to load in like SSH and credentials, and it just goes ahead and reboots it. Like, because what they're saying is,
the problem is a lot of times when it does go down, sometimes it is locked. You can't even SSH into
it's a physical. Okay. Because I was gonna say, because it actually requires the physical reboot. I mean, I'm getting by with like the manual process with the smart plugs, which is just a hard reboot. I get that. Yeah. I mean, you could absolutely make it work, but everybody wants to sell something, right? I get it. Sell it as a package, brothers. Like, sell the smart PDU with the little OpenClaw box all put together. So me as lazy hobbyist doesn't need to build this myself, and I can just buy it and set it up.
Yep.
Do it. Love to see it. Like, I think it's a great idea because that is something where, like, once again, you go back to VAST when we're talking about support, and it's like those things, like, why is that happening? Like, what is going on? That 4 rigs at once go down. Like, what is going on there?
Yeah, they have had some problems. I think this was probably about the time, when your last one had an issue. I told you that there were issues going on with VAST. Well-known people were like, and it was mainly only happening with 3090 rigs. That was what was interesting. And so I know one of mine went kind of wonky, but by the time I got back to it, it was fine. I just noticed that my reliability had been knocked down.
Okay.
So yeah. Good times.
Yeah,
good times. It's actually a really good idea. I'm like, I know Swamp 7's like, it's not a real problem. It's just get a smart PDU and they all support SNMP. I get that, but smart PDUs are really expensive. I had one, it was great, and then it died.
Yep. Yeah.
And I have a feeling the more I thought about it, actually, I was thinking about this earlier this week. I had been blaming the power company, and I'm thinking because I had a 30-year-old panel, I'm wondering if it was causing some of the problems of having the higher voltage. And the voltage was up to 252, still within their range where they're like, we don't consider that too high at this point.
Nice.
But for my PDU, it was definitely outside its range,
Okay.
and it just died. So when I figured out that the actual voltage had come back down and I tried plugging it back in to see if it would work, it won't work. So it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also one of those, like, these are all band-aids we're putting in place, right? Like, these are band-aids we're putting in place, and it's like, where's that root cause? Is it VAST? Is it, you know, what is that root cause that's causing these things to occur? Now, this isn't often, but like it was often enough where like I didn't have the smart plugs on those 4 rigs that this happened on, and so I had to call my son. He went out to my shed, power cycled them, kind of like what you had talked about, and then when I got home, I was like, I had a box of these 4 smart plugs. I just haven't had a chance to put them on. That's what we're doing today. We're installing those because. And the nice thing is they take all of like not even 2 minutes and you're good to go. So yeah.
By the way, that's something that interestingly enough, I noticed this. He was just talking about it. You can also set a notification if you forget to renew the rental end date. You can set an alarm.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
that was me 100%. 100%.
I just did that this week. I thought I had it set up right, but my 5090 for some reason decided to not have that checkbox checked, and I know it was checked before because it had been
the consideration one.
Yeah, it ran out. It's the one that's not verified, and it ran out. I missed it just for 2 days because I'm like, why? This thing's not rented anymore. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then I noticed one other thing was I had lost one of my 3090s from being viewable on hashrate.no, and I realized why. It's the one that has the really long-term renter. And so it was rented the whole time. But if he came off, nobody would be able to rent it after that. So it was expired, so it wouldn't show up on hashrate.no as one of my rigs because the actual end date had passed, even though the actual lease on it goes until July.
Why is any of that like a manual thing where you have to go in and do this? Like, am I just too spoiled in other platforms I've used?
Because
like,
some people some people want to have a specific end date, so they want to set a time. But other people are like, well, I want to make sure that I can make changes, so I'm going to set a 2, 3, 4, 6 month, whatever it is, time frame, but I want it to be a rolling time frame and just have it continue to be that 6-month rental.
What if you don't care like me and you're just like, I just want people to rent these things? Like, are you just continuing to go in, or you just put in a massive end date?
Well, like I said, there's 2 strategies. There's one to put in a shorter end date, but have it continue to roll. Make sure that box is checked, so it's always going to be that time frame. Or shoot, set it for forever.
Okay. Yeah.
You can certainly do that.
That happened to me once where I was like, why are all my rigs like just dropping like flies for being rented? And then I went in and I saw that and I changed it, and within 5 minutes they were rented again. I'm like, this is stupid. Why does this even exist?
Well, especially if the people are still on the rig, like you still have the saved jobs on there. Yeah, they're going to pick it right back up as soon as it becomes available.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was just one of those like, what is happening here? For sure. All right. Well, I have about 5 more minutes. I got some work to do tonight. So anything else you wanted to chat about?
Actually, we were talking about, everything's super expensive and all that. It is really interesting. I've been talking about CoreWeave, and
I saw that announcement today.
What was the announcement today? The Meta announcement?
The Meta thing. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't know when that was announced. I saw that there was an announcement. I didn't know when it came out, but yeah. So now they have Meta as a customer, and I don't mean like right now, but announced. Anthropic is announced to be a customer, and they've had Microsoft.
Meta was shutting down, or is that just the Metaverse, not Meta?
Metaverse, not Meta.
Got you.
Not their AI is still going. But what's interesting about that is it's like, this is what I've said, and I think there's going to be more of this going on, is that there's going to be companies that have power. Basically, you look at all the mining facilities, they have
Yeah.
power, and that's the biggest thing that a lot of these data centers can't get. So
Yeah.
if they could just walk into one of these places and say, hey, we will pay you X dollars, we'll bring in our hardware, we just need to have you set up the infrastructure, and here's a big fat contract, because
Yeah.
they can get up and
Yep.
running way faster in those facilities.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
CoreWeave has basically locked in with that.
Mm.
I'm curious how many others. Oh, well, the other one is Mara, right? They're the other ones who said they sold a bunch of Bitcoin.
Bitdeer was one.
Okay.
Bitdeer was a big one that they did. I can't remember if it was Mara. I know it was Bitdeer. There was one other one. Maybe it was Mara.
I'm
But
pretty
one
sure it
other
was
one
Mara.
one other one within the last 90 days or so, where that was announced, kind of pivoting more towards the AI side, which I
Yeah.
don't blame them. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, when you look at the fact of how long it takes to go ahead and get approval to put anything in anywhere, I mean,
Right.
and then all the backlash that people are providing now, it could be a massive challenge. But if you already have a Bitcoin mining farm in place and you're like, listen, we're just converting, like they don't need to go through. I mean, there's probably very limited additional, very small additional permits they have to go through to kind of put some of those additional things in place. So yeah,
Well-
and as you said, power. It's really power. I think internet's probably the biggest one, which most of these already have some type of fiber in place. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great way to go about doing it. And if anything, it's a great way to diversify. Like it's a smart
I
way
mean,
to
it's definitely a great
diversify.
way to diversify. The other part of it is that it might actually be nicer for the surrounding communities and such, because a lot of these places that are now going in, well, yeah, everybody talks about all the water they're going to use. They're all hydro. So they're going to be quieter.
Yeah.
So from a noise
Yeah.
perspective, people don't mind as much. But yeah, there's just a lot fewer hoops to jump through for these guys, and it's a quick way that they can get, the AI companies can get their hardware up and running a lot faster than waiting for new data centers to come online. So I think we're going to continue to see a trend that direction. So
No, I
that was
agree.
really the main thing I was going to talk. Oh, one other thing. We talked about the Intel B70, the 32
Oh yeah,
gig.
previously. Yep.
That one is something I read basically said that one was the top workstation GPU that was selling over the last week. It's only been available for about a week. So I
Yeah.
thought that was
I mean,
pretty
I'm always interested in, are there other, like I talked about previously in the stream, Pro Series cards that we can pick up at a cheaper price that are more available, and we can get compute jobs out of it. I mean, that could very much be a swap out of 3090 for one of those in a single card rig, and sell off that 3090 and see how you do. That might be granted, you got to go through some things, but I'm just thinking, like, from an evolutionary perspective, if 5090s are so far out of reach.
right. If you look at percentage wise, basically when I think the lowest I ever saw an RTX Pro 6000 was like 8,500. I heard of some people getting them in the $7,000 range, but I think that was a one-off deal type of, I'm going to buy 1,000 of these, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still get them for less than 10,000, like $9,300. And so if you look at like 8,500 to 9,300, that's an $800 gap. Well,
yep.
5090s did at least that, more. So their percentage increase. So it makes that RTX Pro 6000 actually become a little bit more attractive. I mean, they have the same amount of power, and they're making anywhere between, on VAST, and I know Swamp 7 is going to get mad at me for this, but but it's making over 60 cents an hour on VAST, but yet it still has the same power cost as a 5090. So that one is I don't know, I might take the dive on one of those. And just
I love to see it. That'd be huge.
I'm just kind of thinking, I'm like, that's one of the things of, if you have money to invest, okay, putting it in this hardware is pretty low risk.
Sure. Yeah.
Your hardware, yes, it might go down in value over time, but how much money are you going to make in the meantime? So I mean, obviously, the hardware I have in my basement is way more valuable than the prices I paid for it at this point.
Sure. Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
certainly didn't
Definitely.
expect that, but it's certainly a nice thing. It's a nice coincidence, I guess. A little bit of luck there, I guess, because that obviously wasn't why I got into it. I didn't like, oh, let's buy.
Yeah, you were. The
GPUs.
timing worked out perfect for you. I mean,
Yeah, it really
absolutely.
did.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's funny. So H100 80 gig are cheaper and rent for same and more plus less power. So interestingly enough, I did see an article that basically said the prices on H100s as far as what they're making are way less than they used to be. But I didn't realize that you can get the H100s for less now. Interesting. I'll have to look into
Yeah.
that. Definitely have to look
Yeah.
into that. I guess everybody now is looking for like B300s or something. So they're looking for stuff that's further on down the road. But yeah, I'll definitely look at that. Is H100 I mean just like standard PCIe, or is that like MCIO or Slim SAS type
Requires
connection?
something different. Yeah. On that note, I am gonna head out. I appreciate you, Max, having me.
No problem.
As
Appreciate you
always.
being here.
See you, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
All right, you guys are now responsible for telling me when my mic goes out. Mr. X65 says he has a question. I just made a VAST machine which got verified after 1 day. Wow. But after some hours, it looked like it got rented, but I'm not sure because I can't see any high load GPU on it. I get paid for it. Yeah. A lot of times there's no like real GPU like it. So I don't know for sure why that happens, but it happens. Like if I look at my farm, let's see. So right now, like my 6x4090, that one is at 71. So that one's getting worked. My 8x4090 rig has 5 out of the 8 that are rented, and the highest GPU is 32 centigrade. Or Celsius, I mean. So that one, obviously, none of them seem to be getting work there. My 25060 Ti rig, it's 35 Celsius. The other 5060 Ti rig, that one's up at 54. That one's being partially worked. 3090, my single 3090, the one behind me is at 41C, and I can definitely tell it's not warm in here. I know when it's getting worked, but right now it's just 41. 5090 at 40, 3090 at 51. Another 5090 is at 56. So some of them are running on less than full power. They don't need all the power. Another 5090 at 32, 37. My 3x5090 rig does tend to get toasty at times. Is it 67 right now? Yeah, my 5090 that's unverified, it's at 60. So it's a smattering of differences, but I wonder if people are reserving, like maybe it is a service and they need a certain amount of compute power, so they just reserve you for when somebody might come in and need more compute. So I don't know that for sure, but that's been kind of my guess. I mean, if you look at Salad, you're selling GPU, but the amount of time that it actually gets used for GPU when you're on Salad is like minimal, absolutely minimal. So that's the best I can do on that one. I'm not sure, but I do like it when everything's rented and it's nice and cool. Let's see. Cooking mailman. Yep. Treat it like a tool because tools only help you profit over time. Exactly. Scotter 007 says, hey, Max, I have a 4090 on VAST at 10 cents. Oh, 10 cents to get verified. I think that's too low. I'm guessing you are probably going to get rented pretty damn quick at 10 cents. I would at least raise it to 12. I think that's kind of what I've had mine at when I needed to get them verified. So right now, actually, I've got a 4090 on Salad that's been kind of off and on. But it's not making a lot. It's only making 11 cents on Salad. And that one is going to get turned into some type of AI. I haven't fully figured it out, but I think I'm going to try to do Hermes. But you know what? The whole market's been changing so much that I'll see when it comes off in 2 weeks and see if anything new comes out that I might want to use. But right now I'm thinking I'm going to want to use it for a Hermes agent and see what type of things I can automate, and what tools I can build to help me do things either personally, building, there's all kinds of things you can automate, whether it be go out and find trends, go out and find different video ideas in this particular niche. And some people have just come out and said, and I've seen videos on this. I've seen videos, but I haven't actually watched them. But they're like, I asked Claude how could it help me? What are the best 10 ideas to make me money using Claude? That was the question. And so I'm sure some of the ideas are probably not so good. But it's interesting because it can really do that. And I've seen multiple people that have gone through and done similar things but they've been a little bit more specific. So, let's see. There is an orange color on the GUI with this. ChatGPT says it's disabled. That time I saw it go down. I'll probably call it a little bit quick tonight because I need to get this thing charged up is what I need to do. So sorry about that, guys. There's an orange color on GUI with this whatever. ChatGPT says it's disabled. What's disabled? I'm not sure what you're getting at. I actually doesn't complain because I get paid for doing nothing. An orange color on the GUI. What GUI? This is VAST. Are you talking about on the dashboard? Everything's orange. Like when you get rented, you're orange. So yeah. Yeah, I mean it's the color on the GUI when you're rented. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Where's Waldo's crypto? What is the benefits of running, for instance, Salad on Linux versus Windows? Okay, here's the problem with Windows. And I know that you can go through a lot of different things to make sure that your Windows doesn't like try to update or basically reboot. But you shouldn't have to jump through all those hoops. Linux is definitely more consistent, stays up. Most of my stuff just runs. Occasionally, I'll have to reboot something. I actually did it for reboot 2 things this week. One of my 5060 Ti rigs got flaky. I don't know why, but got that restarted. And then, like I said, the 14090 rig that does go off about once a month. I had to restart that. But Linux is just more stable, and someone was really telling. I listened to a portion, I wouldn't say all of it, but I listened to a portion of the Salad stream this week, and one thing was really telling, and it actually, I'll be honest, it really kind of annoyed me. The person asked, "Hey, when are you guys going to support multiple GPUs?" And the response was, "Well, we looked, and we really don't have that many people on here with multiple GPUs." I responded, I was like, all right, back. I said, well, of course you don't have multiple GPUs on your system because you don't support it. Why would anybody deploy multiple GPUs on Salad if you don't support it? I mean, it just is an asinine comment. Like, how do you base whether you're going to roll out a feature that you don't support and you're going to say, well, nobody's got it anyway because we've looked? No, you haven't. Nobody would do it. It was just mind-boggling when I heard that. But I digress. Where's Waldo's script? I was on that live. I saw your response. Yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? Come on. I think there are some people at Salad that just think it's good enough. We just need more customers. Getting customers is a good thing. Definitely not going to say it's not. But bottom line is what are your customers? If you told your customers that everything's on Windows and I have it on people that could just turn me off anytime they want, well, of course, everything costs less and you're not going to get paid as much on Salad because it's not a dedicated rig. So yeah, if you're doing it on your home computer and you're like, hey, I'll make a few extra bucks on the side, it's just gravy at this point. Yeah, that's what Salad's for. Salad is great for that. But for those people that want to make a decent amount of money, not to say, crazy money or anything, certainly not going to get rich with it, but if you want to make a decent amount of money, you need to be on a platform that's going to have dedicated hardware. Anyway. They had more than 5 viewers this week. And they're actually getting more customers. They've had more demand. Last time I checked, I have both of my GPUs on there that were rented. Of course, now I just probably gave it the kiss of death. I'm going to look at it now. Let's see. Nope, they're both rented. My 3060 Ti and my 4090 are rented. My 3060 Ti has been rented for over 24 hours. It's only making 2 cents. And my 4090 is making 11.2 cents an hour. So I'm making like 13 cents an hour. Nothing to sneeze at. Right now it shows like over the last 24 hours I made $2. Can you add that up? You're making, I had been making when it was on somewhere in the range of around $17-18 a week. So nothing earth shattering, but kind of want to keep a foot in the water. Stay aware of that platform, see where things are going. Like I said, that 4090 is going to come off as soon as I hit 110. I'm $20 away. Because I'm going to make that into something else. But the 3060 Ti will either a 3060 or a 3060 Ti will stay on Salad, just kind of like I said, to keep my toe in the water over there. See when things might make a change and that type of thing. So we'll see. All right, let me check back. So on dashboard under machines rental status, OCC, see that D. So the D means it's like a dedicated that's a dedicated rental. That's what that means. So there's I, which is interruptible. D means on demand, meaning that they demand it and nobody can interrupt them. And then there's reserved. So reserved, which is an R, that means that there's somebody that has said, I'm going to keep this on as a long-term rental, and they're getting a discount as a result of it. Now, I don't ever get R's because I don't put discounts on mine. Because I want to be a little bit more nimble about when the pricing might change. But yeah, if you really want long-term rentals, put 10 to 15% discount when you set up your pricing. So basically, there's lots of different settings that you can do. Let me see if I can. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, there's nothing on. It's not gonna let me go outside the window. Well, anyway, so you have your on-demand price, your minimum bid price for interruptibles, and storage price. Also internet up and down, and then minimum GPUs per instance for a multi-GPU. Yeah, it went down to 0. You might want to have, and I guess I could just plug in this other. If it goes off again, I'll plug it in. Either that, I was trying to wrap it up. But I do have this one that I could go back to. But it's not wireless, so I'd have to plug it into this other thing. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. I might do that at least to finish it up. Anyway, so like I said, internet up, down, minimum GPUs per instance. So if you have a 6 GPU rig, you can do 1, 2, can't do 4 because it's 6. If you have 4, then it could be a 2 or a 4. Anyway, lots of different options there. And then you have a reserved instance pricing. And you can do like 8.5, or I actually have one set at 8.5%. I still have not gotten any reserved on that. But they would have to rent it as a reserved instance in order to get that discount. And then if they shut down earlier, then they then have to pay some of that back, basically. They get charged extra. They lose that discount. So anyway. Oh, and then lower, you can actually have people rent out your storage as well, which is kind of cool. So you could actually just sell your storage. And there's, you set it high enough, there's money to be made there. Definitely money to be made there. I had one 2x 5060 Ti rig that was making over 30 cents. I don't have that anymore, unfortunately. That was amazing while it was going on. Right now, that same rig is only making 12.8 cents. So yeah, unfortunately that went away. Is what it is. Is what it is. In fact, now that I'm done with Video Ninja, let me bring it back here. There we go. All right. Back here. Oh, look at that. This is what I was talking about with that. Let me.
Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues.
Bro Masters, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. Tube and Jar, good to see you as well. No, AMD GPUs are not supported on Salad as far as I know. So yeah, that is not available. Alrighty, guys. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. Salad is actually not profitable if you have mining mentality, because Salad kills your GPU by time with high energy usage and not being able to underclock it. Certainly something to be said for that. But if you turn off mining, I have never seen a job with Salad actually really use the GPU to its full extent. It's always a low power job. So I always have mining turned off on my rigs. I think that's the key. I also turn off bandwidth sharing. I don't think that's great, especially depending on how much other stuff you have going on. My bandwidth gets used. Let's see what it's at right now, actually. Loading up. A dashboard. Oh, it peaked out at 1.34 gig. Relatively low in comparison. And yeah, that's the highest. That was like, what time was that one at? That was at like 4 o'clock today. And I get spikes along the way. A couple of spikes being like right at 1 gig. But there's some days where I'll have like spikes 1.5 to 1.7. A number of those spikes. But right now, relatively slow day, I think. And I think a lot of that has to do with it's the weekend. I definitely see volume go down a bit on the weekend, and then it picks back up. I know I saw things. So one of the things that did happen to me this past week, my internet went down for 2 minutes. That always sucks when it happens. You think, oh, it's only 2 minutes. Nope. I always lose probably 4 or 5 clients every time it happens. Does not matter. And then, like I said, having 2 rigs go down doesn't help either during the week. So that happened Thursday. I think all that happened on Thursday. And so it did affect my Friday, unfortunately. And it did affect a portion of Thursday. So I was going gangbusters. I was going to be over $1,200, and then things slowed down a bit. So this week, I think I'm still on. I think I'll still be over 1,000. I don't know if I'll be over 1,100 this week as to how it started, but we'll see. It's a long week. But yeah, I'm still plugging away at it, and it's going well. All right, let me go back and check chat. Been busy messing with my Octominer. What are you doing with your Octominer, Squirrel Masters? I'm glad you like the music. It's Suno. I created that a while ago. I was actually thinking about gonna change it up a bit. Do some like Bon Jovi, Journey, Phil Collins type like genre of music, and see what I can come up with. This has been around for quite a while now, so it's kind of like, I mean, I still like it, but it's always good to have a change. But basically that 80s, early 90s, that genre of music. I thought of even like seeing if they would be able to come up with a Rush song. That would be kind of funny. Yeah, we'll see. You guys still hear me? I just got a OBS disconnected. Now it says reconnected. Doesn't look like I went away. All right. Well, that was weird. That was the message that had come up, but whatever. Interesting. It said my console went offline. Did you guys lose me at all? That was really weird. All right, let me check back. Okay, that was weird. Like I said, the console said it went offline. Like the router went offline. And then I got the message that said OBS went offline and immediately came back on. So weird. Let's see. A couple months ago, when my 5070 was rented full time on Salad, it was full 250 watts, not mining, running a job. Interesting. Go watch the video. Oh, Squirrel Masters, you got a video on it? Let me check. Are you Squirrel Masters on YouTube? Guessing, obviously, so that's what you're here. Are here. Let's see. That you? That's not you. Those are a bunch of videos about squirrels. I don't think that. Oh, that's Squirrel Master. All right, audio back. Back on. Game on. Let's see. Octominer X12 with YouTube. It's only a 1-minute video. I'll share my screen. Let's see. Let's see what this is about. Hold on. All right. Let's see what this is. Let me make sure my desktop audio is on. Turn the music off for a second. And all right, what are we doing? Hey, everybody here, go subscribe with Squirrel Master. Oh, you just like had this thing running as a Windows machine? Are you serious? I know the fan noise is brutal. I can mute it. He's not talking, so I'm going to mute it. Turn the music back on. Interesting. He's got it running as a Windows machine. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Need to clean the poor Octo miner, yes. X server running HiveX while mining. Interesting. Very interesting. Look at that. It even brought me up to my own channel. Right there. Alrighty. Let me go back to the full headshot. I thought it was going to be more interesting than I thought. Maybe you're doing something like Panda's doing with upgrading your Octo miners to be able to do real work. I don't mean like mining's not real work, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Alrighty, guys. Well, this mic is driving me crazy. Hopefully it hasn't been too bad for you guys. Most people have stayed, so I appreciate that. Let's see. Max, would you recommend a single 5090 rig or a 2x whatever 5000 series single rig? Oh, I see what you're saying. Would you recommend a 1x5090 rig, two of them, or a 2x5090 single rig? Well, if you can do a 2x5090 rig, I would recommend it. The problem is that if you're going to do like an AM5 motherboard, or for that matter, even Intel, where are you going to get a motherboard that is going to support 2 GPUs at least at 8 lanes? They're extremely expensive motherboards. So that's part of the problem. Now, if you're thinking about going epic, yeah, I would definitely say get a single one and go epic. Maybe just 32 cores would be fine. You don't need to go anything crazier than that just for 2. Now, if you're going to do that, maybe you want to go to a little bit higher, something that you can maybe grow into. But if you're going to go 5090s, I recommend, if you can, do 64 gig per GPU. I usually like to do 2 times the RAM of the actual GPU RAM, the VRAM. But with that said, I do break those rules all the time. I've got an 8x4090 rig that only has 256 gig of RAM in it. So yeah, that does not meet that 48 gig per GPU in order to beat that same number. I also have a 3x5090 rig on a Threadripper system with only 128 gig. It does well. So your mileage may vary. Let's just say that. Asus X870 Pro X8 X8 dual slots, $400 on Amazon. That's not actually that bad. That's pretty good. Let me take a look at that actually. I don't want to log in there. Search without that. So Asus X870 Pro Art, yeah. Oh, you know what? I did know of this motherboard because this motherboard was at CES, and I actually asked that. I totally forgot about this motherboard. Now, the other thing is you got to make sure it's got you have smaller number, thinner cards basically. You probably need Founders Edition cards if you're going to do 5090s on it. At least one of the two has to be a 5090 because these are only 3 slot spaces on that particular board, unless you do something different by getting host adapters and such and putting your GPUs like, I don't know, somewhere else than on the motherboard. That is always an option. Do you know if these Swamp 7, if these bifurcate too, where you could actually do 2 5x PCI 5 by 16, but then you could actually make it into 4 PCIe 5 by, oh no, I guess it'd be 5 by 8. Never mind. You can't do that. There aren't enough lanes for that. There's only 28 lanes on those. I don't know what I was thinking. You really should have 8 lanes for 5090, but could you get away with 4? It's the same thing as 8 lanes on PCIe 4, and I've got GPUs on that. I got 4090s on that. So yeah. Someone says nope, only X16 or X8 top slot and X8 second slot. That's still good because there aren't many boards that do that anymore. And you're right, it does depend on the workload. So that's the thing, is like, does it work? Yeah, it works, but you're going to limit you're going to limit some jobs from wanting to rent you if you don't have enough PCIe lanes. Especially if they're going to try to rent both your cards. If they try to rent one instance for 2 cards, they're going to want a high number of PCIe lanes because those GPUs are going to talk. Let's see. How important are the cores for a single GPU rig? I have one 5090 with a 9600X and it's renting okay, but wonder if I should upgrade. 6 cores is probably fine. My new thing is basically I try to make sure it at least has 8. I do have one still on a 5600X if I remember correctly, and it's rented. Where is it? Where is it? I thought I still had that on here. Where is it? Gotta be 5600. Yeah, I mean right now that one is making about 32 cents. I have a 5090 on it, so it's PCIe 4 16 lanes and it's only on 6 cores and it's making 32 cents an hour. So, and I haven't seen that one right now. I have 2 other 5090s that aren't rented that are on 8 core. Well, actually one's 8 core, one's 24 core. So, oh wait a minute, that was not 24 core. That one is, no, that one's 8 core too. That one's on my my NAS. So just depends. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Todd Rose. Swamp 7 says just ordered a few for a client running dual 5060 Ti's. Seems a little overkill for 5060 Ti's. I got 5060 Ti's running on 7810s, old 7810s, and they do pretty well. Cuban Jar says, what kind of tasks are you using AI for on your machines? Like I haven't actually done that yet, but I was watching a video on, see, you know, you've heard, Swamp 7 talking about OpenClaw and hearing some, it's great if you want to tinker. OpenClaw is great if you want to tinker. If you just want to get things working, which is kind of where I'm headed. A lot of this stuff is stop tinkering and actually do things with it. So Hermes is a little bit different. It doesn't do the same thing, but it has a lot of already the built-in interfaces. It has built-in skills and it learns. So it does a lot of things really, really well. And it's definitely newer than OpenClaw. But yeah, I haven't fully decided. I'm going to wait 2 weeks until that thing is done, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with it. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Let's see. You said move the cards off the motherboard. How would you do that with, say, an X870 board? You can get a host adapter with SlimSAS. Go to C-Pane. Let's see. And C-Payne. This stuff is not cheap and it comes from overseas, so be prepared to pay. Bottom line is if you can get it to be on the motherboard, you're better off. Yeah, C-Payne, C-Payne, Payne.com. I'll put the link in the chat. Stuff is not cheap at all. let's see. So that's what they wanted. 9950X DX2, 192 DDR5, and dual 5060 Ti's. I don't make those. Oh, this was what somebody basically contracted you to make. Now, is this something? This is the machine they wanted to rent, and you're just hosting it? All set analyst. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Yeah, and so I'm 7. I asked you this in Discord. You never responded. You told me last time. You trolled me last time. You need to get off fast. Where do I go? Where am I going to go? I don't have anybody knocking on my door like Red Panda does to say, hey, rent my shit. I don't have that. So, and actually, I meant to go back. I actually just pulled this up. That was it called? Shoot. What was that service called? Cloud Rift. There it is. Let me I'll change scenes. So this is all about if you want to manage your own GPU infrastructure to be rented. Manage large scale GPU infrastructure within your security perimeter. Right now they have 8 AI operators across 5 countries leveraging the platform. Full virtualization, best-in-class AI inference performance, enterprise-grade security. Anyway, that is what they are doing, is that they have this software so that you, I don't know exactly how the payments work or anything, but you take their software and then you hook your stuff. So basically you're running the middleware with their software. So it is available. Alrighty, guys, a couple more minutes, then it's going to be 2 hours. So I'll probably cut it short, but you guys have any more questions, let me know. And I am going to go back and check. Thought there was one other thing. You can see I'm checking the topics that I had asked AI. I'm like, hey, what else? I don't even know about that. This was the thing about the H100 rental prices crashed to $1.38 an hour. They were at like $4 to $8 just a year ago. So that was interesting that those prices on those cards have come down. That makes sense. Definitely makes sense. And this is where the Intel Arc B70 and B65 hit shelves this week. There was another thing I saw that said that Newegg, it was like the top workstation card that was sold. And this is the CoreWeave thing that I had mentioned. So, yep. So I covered everything I was going to cover tonight. But yeah, just going back to, that's the CPAN. Oh, there we go. So yeah, obviously you can come to my website. I wouldn't buy yet because this link will send you to buy something. If you do happen to go to the site and say you want the automation tools, I can send it to you or send you a link. But definitely would be curious. I should have set a poll, but if anybody's got any feedback on that, I mean, I put a lot of work into it, so I'm thinking about the amount of time saving and the limited stress. I have tested this. Joker Miner was my guinea pig, and as we were going through it, we did make improvements on it along the way. It was constantly like tweaking things to make things better, changed it up. I think right now I feel really happy with where it's at. I'm curious if anybody's got any feedback that ends up getting it. But yeah, let me know. But if you do decide to buy it, just make sure you send me an email. I'm hoping to get that by the full buy process implemented by the end of the day tomorrow at the very latest. But yeah, so this is the if you click straight to there, but you can go to tools, and then it shows all the things, and obviously I'll have some other things. The battery ROI calculator is going to be relatively inexpensive. That should be a one and done type of setup. This one I'm going to have to keep updated. So yeah, once you've bought it, you don't need to buy, like, just contact me and I'll send you an update, any updates that might come down the road.
Spinning lies and stories, playing twisted games. Every word you dropped, a weight I had to lift. I cut the cord, yeah, I needed a shift. I cut you loose, you're dragging me down. Your broken compass, spinning around. No more fact check fights, I'm breaking through. I cut you loose, yeah, I cut you loose. You think you're right, but you're stuck in reverse. Every truth you claim just made it worse. I was the anchor
Thank you. It's not mute. My microphone's turning off.
just to keep you warm.
So it's PCIe 5, so you probably want to get MCIO adapters. So basically click here at the MCIO, and you're going to have host adapters and device adapters, and then you need to get the MCIO cables. And go as short as you can. Shorter the better. PCI, every time you go up a generation, the timing is like so critical. But like I said, it can get pricey. So, and you would only need to get one of each, since one of your cards can go on the last one. Just don't put it in a case. Just put it in a open air stand, because then it can hang off the end. You don't have any space constraints as far as how wide the card is. The only space constraint you have is on the one that's so. I would see though, seriously, if you can get a thinner card. You could always get a liquid cooled one if you were going to buy another one. So there's that option as well. But all the liquid cooled ones would fit in that slot, whether it be the Zotac or the MSI. I'm not talking about the Lightning. I'm talking about the Liquid Supreme that I have that one. I have not gotten the Zotac one, but I've heard good things about that one as well. So those would be thinner cards, and obviously if you get Founders Edition, that's ideal. Scrollmasters 3D print a bracket for the one that hangs over the edge of the bottom of the board. I mean, you could do that. Like I said, if it's vertical, it's not like it's going to hang off. You'll still be able to screw it into the frame. So there isn't going to be that much. I mean, it's all leverage, and because you're straight up and down, it's not going to want to just tip. It's not like when it's on its side and it's going to try to sag because that's what it's going to try to do. It because it's vertical, it'll be fine. I have one that hangs over a side. It's fine. It does not like try to tip. Just have to connect it make sure you screw it in the front. Top. Does that have any context that I'm missing there? Cool kids? Not sure. But it is the bewitching hour of 10 p.m. And before my microphone goes out again, I'm going to bid adieu. And I appreciate you guys all being here. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this video. Have a good day, everybody. See you later.